Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 4, The Vault. And of course, I'm just looking at it. That's why I can say it, because y'all know I never say all that because I never know. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the beautiful people family. Like the video, you guys. It does wonders for my analytics algorithm. Like, it pushes me out, it pushes my video out. And we're trying to get to 1,000. Like, finally, I've been making fucking videos forever, and I am not at 1,000, and it's ridiculous. Like, I'm ready to quit. But then I keep seeing all these YouTubers that's like, don't quit, don't quit. And it's like, okay, but goddamn. So yeah, like the video, you guys, and subscribe if you have not, because it doesn't cost you anything. Like, it's so free. It's so free. And it would mean the world to me. Yeah, I got a lot to say. I was at work and I just could not wait to get my shit off. And I'm on Instagram, like going to Bravo page, going to Andy's page, and I'm like, where are we getting our shit off at? Like, where are we going off on these people at? And y'all know I'm talking about the Kenya situation. We're gonna get there. I don't know that I'm gonna do step by step, you guys, because I don't care enough. And I'm sorry, I hate to keep coming on saying I don't care. It's good, it's entertaining, it's fine. It's fine. I won't say it's good, it's fine. But we know what part we want to talk about. So let's get to it though. All right, so we start off with Angela and Brit meeting up, and Brit's got her dog in a buggy, a stroller. And you guys, I'm sorry, her body is botched. Her booty is botched. And look at it again, look at it from behind, and it's just like extra wide and an extra bubble. I don't know. It don't go, it don't look good. And then again, that leave out, that fucking leave out is just right there. It's right there and it won't stay in. And I just feel like she needs to get a whole wig or something. Girl, the leave out is no good for you. And I don't do weaves, so I don't know what it's called or whatever. She need a frontal. A frontal. I think that is what it is, where the whole thing, she needs all that shit, because you don't need to leave that leave out. Anyway, we find out that Angela, her husband, Charles Oakley, and her family don't really get along well. And I guess it's because, she shared some stuff with them, which is what we all do. We share bad times and then we get over that shit, but the family don't. Like, they don't love them the same way. They don't see them the same way. They don't spend time with them the same way. So, no, when you fuck up, you fuck up. And it's for life. It's up for life. So she said they started off well, but, her mom formed an opinion of him and she ended up sharing it with him. And they got into this big heated argument. And she said it was about cleaning. And I'm like, damn, what was it about exactly, though? Because if you guys go back to episode second 2 or whatever, Charles Oakley was mad that the kitchen wasn't clean. And her daughter was like, oh, we felt like it was clean. It was clean enough. He's like, nah, it wasn't clean enough. So I'm like, the way she made it sound was like maybe he don't clean and people would automatically think that he's the guy, so he don't clean. But I feel like it was kind of reverse. I feel like it was reverse, where he's like always fussing at them about cleaning. And maybe that's the problem that the mom had with him. I don't know. I am speculating, but just putting 2 and 2 together. So yeah, she's saying that, she helps the family out, which normally the person with the money kind of does help the family out. And she said, but it's technically his money. If I'm helping him, it's his money too. So, how you going to have a huge problem with him, but you taking his money? And Brit says, yeah, there's always a problem. And she says how she has the 2 sisters, and one of them, I think it's her baby sister, either her I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie. But she said that her father she didn't say an aneurysm. She said a blood clot. He sat on the couch, ended up having a blood clot. He died very suddenly. And I think she said baby sister took it the hardest, and they fell out. I don't know why, but they've never recovered. So, she looks like she care about that. Of course you would. Like, I have 2 sisters and 1 younger brother, and yeah, my siblings, everything, absolutely everything to me. So I can't imagine not speaking to them. Like, I can't imagine. And it sounds like, she's hurting from it. So hopefully all these sisters can find their way back. So they wrap up this scene with Angela telling Brit that, her and Shamia got off on the wrong foot and she's open to trying again. She's like, I just got this mean energy from her, but, I'm willing to try again. And she's like, have you, received any mean energy? And Brit is like, yes, Kenya. She's just so snippety and snooty. And I'm like, this bitch, like, we gonna get into it some more, you guys, but this bitch is obsessed with Kenya. I feel like she wanted to come on here and be Kenya's fucking bestie. She really did. And Kenya has not been snippety and snooty with her. I still believe that that whole ring situation was just a misunderstanding, and Kenya don't know this bitch. She was like, well, are you married? Are you engaged? What the fuck? And I'm not mad at it. Like, I don't know you. I don't feel like she was being shady, but it is what it is. Even so, after that, when she saw her at Kelly's Balmain, she specifically said, oh, hey, Balmain beauty, look at you. And she gave her a nice little hug. Like, Kenya's not thinking about this girl. And this girl seems to be so obsessed with Kenya. So she tells Angela, oh, she got one more time to be shitty than me. And then I'm on her ass like she got the right one. Girl, who are you? And what are you talking about? Like, too much. Coming in hot again. Here we go with another one. Coming in hot. Y'all, Shamia is dumb as shit, okay? So we have her at the pool. Her sister's coming. And, they're having champagne. The guy is mowing the lawn. And she's like, why he got to be doing that right now? But anyway, she's talking about how, she let her hear the song. She's working with RL. I said, okay, baby, when we're grinding, I get so excited. She's working with a real singer, producer, writer, yada, yada. And Drew's over there with Dennis, the hot dog king. It's okay. It's okay. Because people said that Drew's album is good. So I'm going to leave her alone. But y'all know I don't like Drew. Or I don't like who she portrays herself to be on this show. I'll just say that. But so she's telling her, she hears the song. It's a cute little song. And they were actually playing it, you guys, when they were doing the when they were showing her walking and all that or whatever in between scenes. And I've always wondered why these shows did not do that for the people that were on the shows that sing. Like, why do you not play their goddamn songs and during the transitional phase of the scenes? But they did it for her, and it's a good song, cute little song. So her sister's like, yeah, this is good. And then she's talking about Angela, and her sister's like, is that the one you got into it with? She's like, yeah, and I feel like I really, went at her. So I don't even know why she invited me to this dinner. I wouldn't have invited me to this dinner after the way I went out and in on her. And then we have her in the confessional talking about, man, I was a smooth criminal the way I went in on her. She was like, how am I moonwalk my way out of this one? And then she started doing this moonwalking thing. And she was like, your nose is mine. Okay, don't use that. Don't use that. And I died laughing. Y'all, Shamia is dumb as shit. And she's giving me. Like, with all the jokes or whatever, I am the fun with my family. Like, I'm going to give you some jokes. And sometimes I might go too far. Sorry. But I'm going to give you some jokes. But, yeah, Shamia is now feeling a little bit bad about coming at her in such a way. Not too bad, because she's still shitting on her in the in the confessional. But she's feeling a little bit bad about what she did with Angela. All right, so we have a boring scene with Portia and her people, and she basically get around to talking about Drew and Dennis. And isn't it interesting, you guys, that her storyline has nothing to do with Simon, really? Like, she said a couple things, little ying ying ying, a couple times in the beginning. However, Drew and Dennis, total storyline. That's all we're talking to Portia about, and she's the actual victim here. Not what's that girl name that she Fallon. Not Portia's the victim because Drew is working with Dennis. Ooh, very slick, Portia. But anyway, they get around to talking about her being a brand ambassador, and Portia makes the joke of wanting her to be fired, but you know, she's not in that department, although she's the owner, so she's gonna get fired. Okay, boom. She said Drew wants to be her. Okay. Then we have Drew, and the kids are outside with Ralph playing football, and she's like, "Oh, you gotta ask your dad," because one of the kids is like, "Come play with us." You gotta ask your dad. And then you guys, Drew is an actress. However, she's a terrible actress. Like, if you're supposed to be playing this role, if you guys, I don't know, are if they're really getting a divorce or whatever, I don't know, you guys. I really don't care, but all I know is that they're speaking where she said that they never speak. They can't stand each other. I guess they are somehow on good terms right now. Talking about how the son or one of them brought an article to Ralph saying that they're going to divorce and he's a narcissist. And she's like, "Well, you are a narcissist." And then the producer's like, "What makes him a narcissist?" And of course, Drew doesn't know. She's like, "Let me look up the definition." Girl, you've been running around for years calling him a narcissist and you don't even know why. Like, you don't even know why. But to me, they come off very flirty and smiling. And I don't know. I just feel like Drew is just bullshit. And all of her stories is just bullshit. I don't know. Are they really getting divorced? I really don't care. So we're going to leave it there. But I was bored to death with their whole scene. Oh, but I guess before we leave, we need to talk about Ralph being in the confessional and the producer asking why he's not wearing a shirt. We don't care. We don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not one of the people who think Ralph is very nice looking. He's not unattractive, but he doesn't do it for me at all, especially knowing his attitude and him from what he's portrayed on the show. Absolutely not. No, thank you. All right, so the next scene we have Kelly and Kenya. And she comes to Kenya Moore Hair Spa and she shows her around. It's very beautiful in there. But they hit it off right away. Like the one on one, right away they like each other. So in the confessional, Kelly is like, "Listen, I really like Kenya. Like, she hasn't given me any of that energy that Brit is talking about. So I don't know what's going on with them, but I really like her. Is this the same person?" And I'm like, "No, the problem is Brit tried too hard. She wants it too bad. Like, she's very thirsty for Kenya and Kenya's love and acceptance. I don't know why. It's weird as shit, but it's true. I just feel like she came in way too hot because she was doing too much trying to get Kenya's attention, and that's where they went left. But this was a nice little scene where Brit not Brit. Kelly has a bodyguard. So Kenya's like, "Why do you have a bodyguard?" She's like, "You have an MARK and I have an MARK." And Kenya's like, "Oh, because of him." So we find out that her ex-husband threatened her in court in front of the judge. So she has a restraining order. He's unable to see his kids right now because he's crazy as shit, apparently. They held him in contempt. And who does that? Who threatens to kill their ex or whatever in court in front of a judge? But anyway, we move. So they end up talking about business, and Kenya's like, "Listen, how do you do so well? Teach me," which I thought was huge as well. Like, that's humble as shit to go to somebody and be like, "Teach me what you do." That's basically saying you're I won't say better than me, but you're succeeding in something that I'm trying to do. I thought it was dope that Kelly was just like, "Listen, word of mouth, you'll get there. Just keep praying." Like, she gave her a little inspiration. You know, God plants a seed, and sometimes it's only to us, but manifest it, you'll get there. Kenya starts crying because she's like, "Listen, I am $400,000 in," because they were talking about franchising, and she's like, "That's what I wanted to do," but basically she's not having a lot of luck with this one place. So what about franchising? And she's just like, "Listen, you will get there. You're going to get it all back. You're going to be fine." Kenya starts crying, which again means that she kind of likes Kelly, because we know that Kenya is not very vulnerable in front of everybody. But can we just rewind, you guys? Let's go back to Kenya's slack suit, the suit that she has on, this set. Oh my God. Oh my God. Love, love, love. I love it. And then what's her name? Kelly has on two different shoes. And Kenya's like, you know, two different shoes. She says she is having a Sarah Jessica Parker moment. Okay, we'll give her that. It's fine. I think they are super cool together, and I'm glad they hit it off because I do like Kelly. I think she's very upbeat for everything that she's going through, and she's not coming off like Brit. So, okay, we like Kelly. You guys, next we have Brit with her sister, and her sister is comedy. So she sits down. She's not, really happy with her. She got some blue streaks in her hair. I said, okay. Okay, sister. Now it makes sense the way that Brit was acting later on. We'll get to it. But okay, blue hair. But I like her because, listen, she sat down and, Brit's like, hey, have you talked to mom? She's like, yeah, I talked to her. And she's like, are y'all okay this week or what? Yeah, I may have blocked her. I don't know. And I'm like, damn, you blocked your mama? Ooh. And then, she starts talking about how she feels like she got into a relationship and then just forgot about her. So she tells Britt that she just doesn't understand why he always has to be there when they're together. Like, she's like, you were my person that I could confide in. And, I could tell you when I was depressed or when I was feeling alone or whatever. And now he's just always there. And Britt's like, that's my husband. Because, that's how she talks, right? like her nose is stopped up. But her sister says, that's my husband, mocking her. And I died. Because she sounded exactly like her. But here's my thing, you guys. Why does he need to be there? Why does he need to be there every time you talk to your sister? I don't understand. I don't get it. Okay, you guys. So they end up having a moment, and the sister is not shitting on him, but she's basically, like I said, saying, why does he need to be there? And then we shoot to a confessional with Britt, and she's like, Cher loves him. She loves him like a brother. And I'm like, were we just not watching the same thing? Like, she literally did not say anything like that. She's like, she loves him, but she's a little hard on him, this and that. So we go back to the table, and Britt tells her, okay, this is what I need you to do for me. I need you to, when you want to talk to me, just let me know that you just want to talk to me. And I'm like, wait, what? She has to let you know that this needs to be a one-on-one in order for your man not to be there? What type of shit is that? Like, what type of shit is that, really? And the entire time her phone is going off, and she's like, well, I hope, we're okay now and everything, because Michael, he's texting and, kind of like, I gotta go. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this little man? Like, what is wrong with this dude for real that she can't move? And if you think back to when they were at their house with his family and she went downstairs with his sister, he comes down there. She's trying to have a fucking moment with his sister, and he comes down there. And I'm like, you can't move without her? Are you kidding me? Yeah, something's up with him. We gonna figure it out. All right, we then have a moment with Drew and Dennis in the studio, and I don't care enough to watch it again. I'm not gonna do it. All I will say is that when I saw it, I was like, ooh, Dennis, you gonna be in trouble. All right, now we get to the shits, you guys. We are at Angela's party at the bank, and the bank door is like a vault. It is really nice, but apparently it's in a bad part of the neighborhood or a bad neighborhood or whatever. But she says she don't care as long as, it's nice and you come in. It looks really nice, so I don't know how, I mean, I guess it could still be in a bad neighborhood, but they did a really great job on the inside. And I think it's dope as shit that the door is a vault, like a vault door. So they come in, the attire was supposed to be black chic, and all the ladies come in, you guys, Brit come in, and the very top of her hair, fucking leave out, is nowhere near where it's supposed to be. She is always, absolutely always gonna have some flyaways and some hair out of place. It's ridiculous. But anyway, we move. So everybody comes and Kenya comes in. Kenya is the only one. Everybody's wearing black. Kenya's the only one in her like Tiffany blue. and she comes in and they're talking about, what do you have on? She's like, oh, I didn't get the memo. And they talk about how it's on the invitation. And she could have missed it. But then she says, listen, I don't even have anything black. So she goes around the table. She's giving like little air kisses or whatever. And I specifically looked at her and Drew, and they just literally did an air kiss. Not a big deal, okay? So she goes to Brit and she gives her a little, hug with a little pat on the back. And Brit is like, that wasn't a hug. That was a pat. That wasn't a hug. I was like, what do you want her to do? Like, I feel like she wants Kenya to what? Like, what do you want her to do? It's ridiculous, the fact that she is so up Kenya's ass. She is really, really obsessed with Kenya. Because even when Kenya came in her blue and she's walking like the runway, she's twisting her lips up and everything. And I'm like, if she would have even caught a glimpse of you looking like that, yeah, I wouldn't be hugging your ass either, even though I don't think Kenya's just not paying this girl any attention. So even when she says that, Kenya's like, no, it's just not trying to get makeup on me. Kenya's paying her dust, and I'm sure by now, though, she's getting the vibes where she's like, something's wrong with this broad, and she's not paying her any attention, but she got her good eye on her, I'm sure, and she's just like, listen, no makeup on me, it's fine. But yeah, this girl is absolutely obsessed with Kenya. It's ridiculous. All right, we don't want to miss this moment where Shamia comes in with an olive branch and olive oil. And everybody's like, oh, so she has her little moment with Angela where she apologizes. She says, listen, I am sorry that I attacked your physical appearance. That isn't like me. And, I just want to extend this olive branch and hopefully we can start over. Angela says, great, that's what I want to do. I mean, that's technically what Angela wanted to do at the Balmain party, but they just had like a miscommunication where it didn't come off that way. But yeah, that's great that they were able to start over, and that's great that Shamia, y'all, I'm barbecuing and all I see is all this goddamn smoke. Let me go check my chicken, y'all. Hold on. All right, so they do a little toast and they say they're about to have a great day, great dinner. And Kelly starts off by thanking them all for coming to her Balmain party and purchasing something. And she goes, but Drew, you came and you did tell me that you were bringing your sister, but you didn't tell me you were also bringing your makeup artist who didn't buy anything. And someone was like, could you see what everyone bought? And she's like, yeah, and only one person didn't buy anything. And she's talking about Drew. So Drew's like, no, that's not true. So she's showing her phone. And she's like, yeah, I don't see anything except a text from Dennis. And she's like, no, it's a group text. It's a group text. And basically Drew is trying to say that she bought a $2,000 blazer for her son. And I said, lies. And Kelly knows it's lies. She said, listen, she's showing me them talking about transactions or whatever, but she's not showing me a receipt where she actually paid for it. And she's getting like, no, Drew is full of shit, y'all. Y'all know she's a liar, and y'all know I won't say she don't have money, but she act like she don't have money. And I doubt that she's going to buy a $2,000 blazer for her son. I just doubt it. I don't believe Drew as far as I can see her. So we move on from that. All right, the ladies order. The food looks good. Everything looks deep fried. And they say that they are did she say they're in Macon or whatever? And, it's a soul food place. But Shamia then tells them that she did a new song and she's been singing since high school. And Portia's shaking her head. Yeah, she has been. And Portia's like, no, I haven't heard it. And she's like, I want your, opinion. And Portia's like, why do I think it's going to be a diss track? What, Portia? Why would it be a diss track? Like, that right there was shade and stupid. This is your best friend. Why would it ever be a diss track? So she, plays the song, and Portia's just like, that's Drew. Are you on it? Like, where are you? And then when it's done, and she's just looking like, what? What are you talking about? That's me. And she's in the confessional, Shamia, and she's like, Portia, stop. Like, what are you doing? You've heard my singing voice. And all the ladies clap when it's over and tell her it was fantastic. And then Portia does not clap, number one. And then she goes, were you on it? And Shamia's like, yeah, you weren't listening. And she's like, you acting like I don't know your singing voice. Well, clearly you weren't listening the entire time. And Drew even says, she's like, it just sounds like Drew. And she's in the confessional, Portia, talking about, oh, it was a compliment. So what are you saying? That Shamia doesn't really know how to sing? So she has to sound like Drew because it sounds good? I don't understand. Like, Portia is a hater of her best friend? We don't like it. So then Drew even says in her confessional, Portia is being really shady because she knows that's not me. We don't even sound alike. And yeah, Shamia is confused. We're all confusion. All right, so now we're doing questions. And first question is for Shamia. What'd you do to thank your husband for that amazing Rolls Royce that he brought you? She does this whole thing like she's giving him oral sex, and then she bends over like she's twerking or whatever. Okay, great. All right, next question is for Angela. Tell us something that we don't know. And she's like, I'm kind of an open book. So Portia says, y'all ever had a threesome? She's like, nope, no threesome. And Portia's like, well, I heard Charles was kind of spicy. And she's like, he can be. And she goes, well, I heard something about him. I heard something about Charles. Don't do that. And Angela's just like, what'd you hear? And what's her name? Brit. Oh my God, what did you hear? You got some tea? Oh, Jesus. So Portia's like, no, I won't say anything, but I definitely heard something. Don't do that. And then Angela's over there like, what'd you hear about my husband? Yeah, I cannot stand bitches like that. I can't stand it. First of all, the past is the past. I don't give a shit what you heard. Like, number one. Number two, why are you trying to just throw salt and shit on their relationship? Are you just miserable? Misery loves company. I don't like that. And Portia wouldn't like it if somebody did it to her. Not cool. Yeah, so Angela's in the confessional and she's like, she don't even want to talk about her own husband. Why would you mention my husband? And then she under her breath says, stupid bitch. And the producer's like, what? She's like, nothing. And you guys, where I stopped it, Angela's nose, she got to get that redone. She got to get that redone. I'm going to tell you, do you guys remember Molly and the big comfy couch? I could be dating myself, but my baby used to like that show. And there was it was a puppet. Molly, was it Molly? I can't remember the puppet's name. Maybe it was Molly, I don't know. But she had a button nose that looked, it was just kind of it looked like Angela's nose. Yeah, she looked like Molly in the big comfy couch. She got to fix that nose. All right, next question is for Kenya from what's her name? Kelly. She's screaming it too. She's like, Kenya, what color panties do you have on? So Kenya gets up and I guess she shows them. And Portia's like, oh my God, you have the biggest vagina I've ever seen. She's like, your vagina's gonna pick up our food with your coochie. And I'm like, Portia. And then we see Brit is not laughing or anything because she can't laugh at anything with Kenya. Yeah, I can't stand Brit. I fucking cannot stand her. But next question is also for Kenya. Kenya's like, oh my God, I've had all my questions. But no, we have more questions for Kenya. It's so odd. All right, so the next question is from Drew. Well, it's not from Drew, but she's reading it. So it's for Kenya also. And it's like, Kenya, why are you so worried about happily married women? And she's like, it's a habit. And then Kelly's like, it's a habit? She says, no, I'm just kidding. And then we have another question for Kenya coming from Brit. And Kenya's like, oh my God, I'm so popular. And Brit says, why can't you greet Brit with a real hug and a real hello without this attitude or something like that? All right, you guys, this is exactly how it went. I'm going to show you how unproblematic Kenya was being. So she reads her question and she's like, yeah, why can't you greet Brit without an attitude? And Kenya's like, I do, and I have, and I feel like I've, greeted everyone nicely. And she's like, well, you haven't. And Kenya's like, okay, girl. And then she's like, what? What? And Kenya's like, nothing, nothing. And she's like, what? And Kenya's like, nothing. I'm letting you have your moment. What moment? Like she just snapped. She just crashed out for no good reason out of nowhere. This bitch is kooky, just like her husband. So she tells Kenya, Kenya's like, you want a moment. She's like, no, you want a moment. Kenya says, I am the moment. And the whole time she's calm, just like this. I am the moment. And this girl is raising her voice and she's like, answer the question. Answer the question. It was specifically about me. Because remember, Kenya said she could speak to everyone and she does speak to everyone nicely. No, this is specifically about me. And then she had the nerve to say she didn't write it. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did, because no one else cares. No one else cares about how Kenya greets you. So you sound stupid and obsessed. All right, so we have them getting ready to get up and leave because this girl has lost her mind. And she's going crazy on Kenya, and Kenya's like, listen, peasants cannot come for the queen. And she's like, I didn't come for you. I didn't send for you. Something she said. And Kenya's like, thanks for using my catchphrase. And she just stands up and she's like, thank you. And then they all stand up and the girl's going crazy. She's like, whatever. You got the right one. You can't be talking to everybody the way you want to talk to everybody, bitch. And like, she's going crazy. All right, so not Kelly, Brit is still crashing out or whatever as they're walking out, and King is not paying her any attention. However, she's, looking, but not looking because she's talking the entire time. King is not saying anything to her, and she's like, oh, this bitch, this, and she that, and this and that, and where's my husband? And then her husband, creepy ass, comes from nowhere, just like Croy used to do with Kim. He was just somewhere in the building looking a hot ass mess. Everybody else is dressed up and you just come in a t-shirt. Like, what happened? And she's talking about something about having her pistol on her. And he comes out and she's like, yeah, I had to let her know. I had to let her know. And he's like, well, what happened? All right, so everyone is basically in their confessional saying that Brit is going too far. She's just doing the most. She's going too far. Even Kelly is like, listen, she's overreacting. It's too much. So when the husband comes and she's just still going off and she's telling him to take the mic off or whatever, and she's like just steady talking. You don't call me a peasant. And this bitch, this is real life. I don't do this Hollywood stuff. And I got whips and I got pistols and I got guns. Like, she's literally threatening her. And Kenya, her car isn't there yet. So she's like standing next to Portia's car. And you could tell that she was shook, because here you have this ghetto bitch talking about this is real life and what she could do. And you gonna learn today. And like, she's literally been talking for the last 10 minutes or so from what we've been shown. And Kenya hasn't said a word to her. Like, she's definitely going crazy, crashing out. So yeah, I'm with Kenya in terms of being a little on guard. So she ends up getting into the car with Portia and she's like, nah, she gotta go. She just literally threatened me with guns and everything. And so here's my thing, you guys. Bravo is foul as shit we don't know what we heard about what Kenya is gonna do in the next episode. And I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit because this broad shouldn't be here still after threatening her like that. That was too much. I think that was too far. She's on the wrong show. And I'm with Kenya, you guys. She needs to go. Kenya said that in the car with Portia. Oh, she's got to go. She's a problem. And I agree. If you have made it this far, that was the end, you guys. So we'll see what happens next week. This is where Kenya goes too far and they consider it revenge porn because Brit, as we know, her little kibbles and bits and everything is all over the internet because she was a video vixen in high school, and that's not all. Stay tuned. Let me stop. I don't know that girl business. I just don't like her. So, yeah, I have an issue, a huge issue with Bravo and the fact that this girl is still on the show and Kenya had to go. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. But I don't think she'll be back after this one because I feel like everybody is kind of outraged and they're going to hear about it. They're definitely going to hear about it. But if you have made it this far, you are the real MVP. Thank you very much. Please consider subscribing if you have not already. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. And I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.